Let's get into the predictions for Week 12. The Pittsburgh Steelers against the Cincinnati or against the Cleveland Browns. So in that game, the Steelers are going to win. Obviously, they're going to improve to 6-1 against the conference. The conference win-loss record is going to be a very good indicator on how to predict some of these games, or just be assured that there won't be an upset, because there's been quite a bit of upsets division wise last week. The Seahawks over the 49ers, and then Lamar was top dog, but then Pittsburgh Steelers won that game. So Cleveland Browns is Gematria 61, and I don't expect to see any surprises. The Steelers should improve to 6-1 in the conference. The Super Bowl is at Louisiana this year. It's Louisiana, that's Gematria of 61 in reverse. And Russell Wilson. Wilson is Gematria 29. Russell Wilson's going to get the victory, and the Browns are going to fall to 2-9 for the season. The Bucs and the Giants. The Giants are going to lose, the fall to 2-9. The Buccaneers are going to stay alive in this division. The Falcons are 6-5. The Buccaneers will be 5-6. Basically, it's Baker Mayfield. The Buccaneers played the 49ers and the Chiefs, so there's going to be no surprises in that one. Baker Mayfield is going to win that game. I could see a winning streak ending for New York potentially on Thanksgiving to go for 3-9, because New York is Gematria 39. So again, they're not going to beat the Buccaneers, but I'd say I'd give them a chance against the Cowboys. The Chiefs are going to beat Carolina. There's no doubt about it. The Panthers fall to 3-8. It's Panthers, that's Gematria 38. So the Chiefs get a little break next week. The Cowboys are going to fall to 3-7. They face the Giants on Thanksgiving, who are coming off of a game against the Buccaneers. Conference win-loss records. The Washington Commanders. Now, this game is at Washington, but the Cowboys are from Arlington, Texas. And Gematria, it's Arlington, Texas. That's Gematria 62. So I do like the 6-2 record in the conference against teams in the conference for the team from the nation's capital. Capitals, Gematria 62. Washington improved to 6-2 against the conference. The Dolphins are going to get a victory. That game is pretty easy. Basically, it's common sense. This could be a comeback for the Dolphins. The Dolphins are going to stay alive in playoff contention. So the Dolphins are going to keep pace with the Denver Broncos. So the Dolphins are going to defeat the Patriots. Okay, the Bears almost defeated the Vikings. So what are the Vikings going to do against Chicago in a divisional game? The Bears battled the Packers pretty tough. I think in that game, I'm looking at the Bears' home record. Well, first of all, the Bears are 4-6 like Gematria of Chicago. What would be Gematria of Sam Darnold? What would be Gematria of, Vikings when we're looking at this? There's no 4-7 with Vikings. The Vikings in reverse is Gematria 56. If the Bears were to win against the Vikings, they would improve to 5-6. Just another team lingering around in the playoff field. If the Bears do win against the conference, they would have a 3-3 record. You saw that Sam Darnold's Gematria 33, and the Bears is also Gematria 33. So this remains very interesting, because I think the Bears have the Thanksgiving game against the Lions. You are compelled to go for some upsets. I think I just may have to go Bears in that one. I'm questionable about that. I think with Minnesota, I think I have to look at they play the Cardinals next, right? So basically, how does it all sync up with the Cardinals? If the Vikings win to improve the 5-1 away, it is Gematria the Cardinals. That's Gematria 51. They do face off against the Cardinals next. Um, so I think you just have to go with conference record. Vikings could fall to 3-2 like Gematria of the Bears, and also they would be going up against Kyler Murray the next week. It's Murray, that's Gematria 33. I may have to go Chicago in that one. And now the NFL could want the Vikings to win to keep pace with the Lions, because the Packers, I think, are going to be kind of stuck in the wild card hunt. So again, some upsets happen. So I just may need a couple upsets here. So I'll go Bears in that game. The Colts are battling for a playoff spot. They really need a win to keep pace with the Broncos. Anthony Richardson just came back. Are they good enough to beat the Lions? I don't think so. They'll fall to 5-7 like the championship number. I honestly can't see the Lions losing after they demolished that team. With that game, the Lions are going to improve to 6-0 away from Ford Field. Indianapolis is Gematria 60. So I do like the Lions to improve to 6-0 on the road, although I think it's possible that the Packers can win this game against Detroit. So, again, you just have to go Lions again this week. The Raiders are a poverty-ass organization nowadays. I think the Broncos ended a 7-game losing streak against the Raiders. Now the Raiders could go for 7 losses against the Broncos. It is Raiders, that's Gematria 38. Should they shock the world and defeat the Denver Broncos? So the Raiders are going for 3-8. But also the Broncos, let's see, they're 6-5. If the Broncos improve to 4-3 away, it is Las Vegas, Nevada. That's Gematria 43. So this one obviously is lined up in a couple of different ways. So I think the Broncos will probably improve to 4-3 away because Las Vegas, Nevada is 43, and they face the Browns next. The Browns is Gematria 43. This is a very long season, 17 games. But this is, are the Broncos really going to clinch the playoff spot? So there is a potential for a surprise to happen. The Raiders could improve to 2-3 at home because Las Vegas is Gematria 23. And, if the Bengals don't hold on to defeat the Chargers, then basically, if they lose tonight, then the NFL may need the Broncos to lose against the Raiders. Bengals have to keep pace with the Dolphins and just rookie quarterback. You just imagine maybe the Raiders. It is a divisional game. We've seen the Seahawks 49ers surprise. But yeah, go Raiders. But I really. I just think my gut feeling is that they want to keep this close. So we'll see. Hopefully the Raiders win, but it may not be enough. The Broncos just destroyed them, so. Now, let me just flip the switch to Packers 49ers. I think the 49ers will probably win at Green Bay. The Packers would fall to 7-4. I don't think the 49ers are going to have a losing record ever since Christian McCaffrey returned, although it's a different team this year. They're not the same, obviously. So who do the 49ers have the next week? They have the Bills. So basically, I can see the 49ers beating the Packers and then falling to 3-3 away, losing to Josh Allen because it's Josh Allen. That's Gematria 33. So I'll go 49ers to defeat the Packers this week because they own Green Bay. Let's face it, Packers could fall to 3-3 at home because it's Niner. That's Gematria 33. So they could fall to 3-3 at home. Fall to 7-4. It's a big Masonic number, obviously. No, they play on Thanksgiving. They're going to lose. This is going to have to be a game that they have to win to stay alive in the playoff field. Obviously, the conference record is going against the Green Bay Packers, so I think they'll probably fall to 7th place. Make this interesting. They have 7 wins. The Buccaneers have 5. 49ers have 6. It keeps the Buccaneers alive. The Buccaneers do get Carolina, so it would keep Tampa alive for the wild card, you know. So, again, when we talk about division championship, when we're talking about still staying alive for a possible wild card spot, the Packers losing makes things more interesting. So really, if the Vikings lose, they could fall to 3-3 since starting 5-0. Vikings are probably a one and done team, probably. So the Bengals just scored a touchdown. The game is tied. Let's assume the game is rigged for the Bengals to come back. Plus, it is Super Bowl 56, so the Bengals are probably going to win. Very huge win for them, of course, before the bye. Texans will beat the Titans, obviously. I don't think you need any numbers to decode that game. So, the Ravens are obviously coming off of a loss. And let's just assume the Chargers are going to lose. And so the Chargers, they're 6-4, and the Denver Broncos are 6-5. Again, Baltimore is going to beat the Chargers. The Harbaugh Part 3. Maybe Jim's first win against his brother would have to happen during a different year when, the Chargers become a better team. But just Baltimore after a loss, Baltimore is going to have to win that game. And that game, the Ravens will improve to 4-3 away from home. It's Chargers. That is Gematria 43. Eagles and the Rams. Rams could improve to 4-2 at home against Jalen Hurts. Jalen's Gematria 42. It does line up for the Rams to kind of stay alive for the division. Set up some big football games against the Cardinals and the Bills and the 49ers. So I think there definitely is an incentive to rig the game for the Eagles to fall to 4-2 away. Again, Jalen Hurts is Gematria 42. Now, if the Eagles improve to 5-1 away, it is Rams. That's Gematria 51. But it could be rigged for the Commanders to stay alive for the divisional title. So I'll go Rams over Eagles in an upset. It is Matthew Stafford. McVay and his guys are pretty good at getting these guys ready to go, ready to play football. And the Rams have been winning games in recent weeks. I think the Rams could go 5-1 during their last 6 weeks. So that's kind of a team that's playing good football. So I'm going to go Rams in that one. But there's one more game to break down. And then Ravens Chargers, I did break down. They battled the Dolphins pretty hard, the Raiders. Again, this team's a train wreck. The Raiders last won a game against the Browns. They've lost 6 straight games. When are they going to win again? Toilet Bowl, Jaguars, Raiders. I just would like to go to Antonio Pierce's record for a second. This guy's been scapegoated. They haven't given him a quarterback. He's going to be blamed for how the team does. It's not fair. He needed a quarterback, and he's going to be scapegoated for everything that's going on this year. Wikipedia is just so far behind. The Raiders could get their first win in the division against Denver. Keep this playoff race exciting, you know. No one wants to watch the Broncos and a rookie quarterback. People would rather watch, Joe Burrow or Tua Tagovailoa. So if you want a week for the Broncos, they should beat the Cleveland Clowns. So maybe they lose against the Raiders, stay alive, and beat the Cleveland Clowns to defeat the Cleveland Clowns. But then against these 4 games, that's when the real fun begins. Maybe do they want them to lose the game on ESPN instead? You hype up these brothers before you get them on Monday Night Football against the Cleveland Clowns? Let me just type in Cleveland Browns quickly. I mean, the Cleveland Browns is Gematria 76, and the Broncos, you see, they could go for 7-6. So it all depends. It all depends. Which game do they win? Which game do they lose? Because it is the Las Vegas Raiders that is Gematria 76. So very likely the Broncos are going to be 7-6. The Broncos are going to be 7-6. But the question is, which week do they lose? The upcoming week or the week after that? So we'll just have to find out and type in Bo Nix and see what we get. Man, the Cleveland Clowns on national TV. Wow. Thursday game, see that pile of garbage play, and then you have to go watch them against the Denver Donkeys on Monday Night Football. It's just, Broncos are a good team, but the Cleveland Clowns are terrible. Okay, Bo Nix. Bo Nix is Gematria 28. The Raiders enter the game with a 2-8 record against Bo Nix. Bo is Gematria 17-8-37. There's not much there. Nix is Gematria 34. The Broncos could improve to 3-4 against the conference. They will probably most likely beat the Raiders. Raiders are 2-6 in the conference. It's Bo Nix, Gematria 26. Yeah, it's a lost cause. It's a lost cause.